Today's episode is sponsored by Good News. Good News that Only Murders in the Building will premiere August 8th, and season 3. And I love that show. And I
It's a
just
good
wanted to
show.
start with it's so good. It's so good. And
Hmm.
I just wanted to start with happy news.
Love that.
So,
I love
happy
that.
news. Because today
Exciting.
we're all about being happy. Okay? HAPPY. Happy.
Yeah. Love that for us.
In case anybody was wondering. Are you happy, Julie?
Sure. Yeah, I'm very
Okay.
happy.
If you
Yeah.
tell yourself, you'll believe it,
You know what? That's the least you could do.
or others will believe it.
Right.
Will you believe it? That's up to you.
Yeah.
Welcome to You, Me, and Chisme, your number one source for Chisme on the internet. Julie and Adrian here. Julie. Julie, you loved the morning so much you wanted to do it again. Here we are. I kind of like the
Yeah.
morning vibe that we have going on,
It's a great way to start the day, if I may say
isn't it?
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a good
Ex-
time.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Julie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You look stunning, by the way.
Oh
What
my
time did you wake up today?
God. I woke up at 8.
You got that done in an hour?
I know. I'm also surprised, to be quite honest. Yes.
And I'm not saying that.
No,
But
no.
I only because I hear that it takes forever to like,
It
do the hair, do
absolutely
this and do
does.
that.
There is a magic that happens when you force to rush yourself. That's like, I
Uh-huh.
usually take an hour and a half to do this kind of stuff, and suddenly I'm 30 minutes in and I'm almost done. It's very weird the way that we work like that.
Interesting.
Hmm.
What ring finger is your ring finger?
What do you mean? Which ring
Uh,
finger is my ring finger? It's
I thought you had
my ring
rings on
finger.
your ring, but are those the ones where you get married?
That this is the ring finger, yes.
Oh, and you put rings on there.
I mean, yeah, I wear rings on there. No one's gonna think I'm engaged with this ring on there. No, notice my broken nail. Um, it's just
Oh,
a.
I didn't know. I didn't know that folks wore rings on their ring finger, the marriage one.
Do people
Um,
not?
I don't know. I don't
I've been
know.
walking around
I
with
thought
rings
that
on my ring finger.
maybe that's why nobody's saying anything.
No, I don't think
I don't
that's true.
know. Oh,
Um,
okay.
I don't know. Interesting. Guys, are we supposed to wear rings on our ring fingers if we're not engaged? I've never thought twice about it.
And I've always thought, look at the ring finger to see if they're committed. And if you see something, then they're
Well,
committed.
one, you're looking at men. So how many
Oh,
variety of
I
rings can a man wear?
I
They
mean,
all
I
kind of look
guess,
the same. And female, like you don't think that's an engagement ring?
but who's to say what the financial situation may be or whatever the
Interesting. Well, it's my initial. So,
sure, but if I saw you down the street, maybe at Target or
right.
something, I'd be like, oh, she's beautiful. Oh, she has a ring on her finger. I
Interesting.
mean, that wouldn't stop me. I'm just kidding.
You know what though? That is true because I also look at ring fingers immediately when I find
Well,
someone
that's what I'm
attractive.
saying.
I've never thought twice about it. But I will notice a different kind of ring on a woman and be like, oh, she's unattached. It has to be like an
Interesting.
engagement looking ring. I've never thought of the budget restrictions that one may have. Um,
Right.
Interesting developments here at Yumi and Chisme this early in the morning. We need to start recording in the morning. You see how our brains work different?
They do. They really
Yeah,
do.
we're both sober, we're wide awake. It's
Yeah.
it's it's different. It's definitely different.
Oh my God.
Please don't die.
What is happening to me? I might be dying. What is
Please
going
don't.
on?
I honestly don't know what I would do.
Well, I
Except
already
probably
told you
like
it.
end the recording and call it a day.
You just let me.
You're like, well,
Now, you know why she said this? Because earlier I told her, "Oh, I keep my microphone in my sock drawer, and when I die, you could keep it." And now she's like, "Okay, great,
fingers crossed.
get to it."
Better question is why is the mic in the sock drawer? That's what I want to know.
Because I don't have a lot of space in my room, and the
Okay. Is
microphone
there
is
space
tall.
on your desk?
Yeah, but I don't it gets dusty and I don't want the microphone
Okay.
to get dusty. That's actually the real reason why
Okay.
I keep it inside of a drawer.
Okay.
And it
That's
happens to be
actually
the
a good
sock.
reason.
Yeah, and it happens to be the sock drawer because it's where it would fit. Because all my other
Right.
drawers are filled to the rim.
Right.
To the top, to the rim. I don't know. And so I have this weird thing about things that are expensive and nice getting dusty.
I love
And
that.
in Southern California, it's dusty
Yes,
all the
it fucking
time.
is. Yeah,
I mean, where the fuck does all this dust come from?
I
My
agree.
window was closed. No, seriously, where does all this
Yeah.
fucking dust come from?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It's a problem.
Is it your cars? Go get an electric one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an electric car yet, but
Yeah.
if somebody wants to buy me one. Okay, yeah. Anyways, that's why I keep the microphone in the sock drawer.
I love that. That was a
I just
great answer.
yeah, I get worried that if it like if I leave it out, it's just gonna get like it'll get dirty and then it'll like start to malfunction or something.
That makes
I was
sense.
worried that if I left it when I first put it in the sock drawer, I was like, will the socks do something to the microphone?
Interesting.
Don't know.
Interesting. I've never thought that much about anything on my desk, to be quite
Oh.
honest.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah, but
now
I
you've unlocked.
love that.
Now you've unlocked something that happens in my brain.
Right. And you know what? We're so much better for knowing that part of you. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Julie, how are you doing after your massive interview debut last week?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah.
The high has remained.
Uh-huh.
Um, I mean, watch this space because we may get access to another blind spotting cast member.
Oh, wow.
So it could happen any day now. So we're
Uh-huh.
just waiting to hear back about that. But yeah, I'm collecting blind spotting cast members like they're the Infinity Stones. Like I'm collecting them like you wouldn't believe. I have Raphael Cazal, Davi Diggs, Jasmine Cephas Jones. Forget about it. I have the Holy
Uh-huh.
Trinity. I
Uh-huh.
I can't. It can only go down from here. So
Did you have to send the PR people, the interview?
no, no.
Oh,
But
okay.
I know that the blind spotting Twitter account saw it because they retweeted it.
Oh, cute.
Mhm.
Oh, how fun.
Mhm.
How exciting. Julie, our little star.
Yeah.
Julie.
Now we're working on Clayton
Sorry.
Cardenas for Mayans MC.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Clay, come on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
The people want to hear what you got to say about this last season
Do
of
you
Mayans.
do you think we could request for him to be shirtless in the interview?
You know what?
Just
Worth
a
that's
question.
worth asking. What's the worst that could happen? They say no or that's
Right,
inappropriate or block
right,
us.
right. I mean, that's the worst that could happen.
Right. They can't keep us from watching the show.
Right. Or talking about
So,
him
I mean,
or fantasizing about him. Sorry, I always ruin these opportunities for you. I'm so sorry.
it's
I'm
fine. You
so
know
sorry.
what? These people have to know what they're getting themselves into if they're going to come on the show,
Right, right,
right? I mean,
right.
respectfully, but also,
Respectfully.
who are we to not appreciate beauty?
That's what
I
I
mean,
said.
hello. I'm sorry you're gorgeous.
And then is that our fault?
Right. So how is that our problem?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
people are
Yeah.
so nasty.
People we made up in our head are so
They're
gross.
so
Yeah.
disgusting. Oh, speaking of men, Julie,
Ooh.
you want to tell us something?
No. I'm just kidding.
Let me tell you something. What day was it?
Okay.
Tuesday? What, Monday? It was Monday?
Tues Monday. It was Monday.
Monday, I went into the office.
Mistake
I
number
had an
one.
I usually don't go into the office on Mondays, but I had an event, so I had to be at work. I had to be on site. And, I'm doing my thing, and I get a message from Julie, an audio message, not out of the ordinary. Should I play it?
Can you? Oh no. Is it chaotic?
I don't remember. I should have been prepared for this, but let me
Oh.
see. Um, okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me see here.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay, yep, this one's it. Okay. Ooh, let's buckle in, shall we?
Oh
Um,
no.
this is what Julie sent me at 12:44 p.m. on Monday.
Hi, hello, how are you? How far is Amoeba from you? And are you at home? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hear me out. This is what's happening. Hozier is going to be playing a show at Amoeba, and they are giving out pictures and vinyls. Let me actually rephrase. They're not actually doing that. May 30th, he's going to be at Amoeba doing a performance. Right now, if you go starting right now in this moment, May 17th, if you go to Amoeba to pre-order his vinyl in person, you can get a ticket to get a picture with the man. Is Amoeba far from you? Dude, I wish I could leave work right now, but I can't because of the whole bereavement thing last week. So I have to be here. But let me know. Long story short, let me know if you could get to Amoeba. And I would love you more than life itself. But I actually, the thing about geography for me is I could not tell you how far your house is from Amoeba. I know where Amoeba is, and I know where your house is. I don't know. So you let me know. I'm actually going to throw up. Anyone else?
Should I cut that out? Do you want me to keep it in?
Oh, no, you can keep it in.
Um, that's what I got.
Yeah, you did. And okay, here's the thing to clarify about the bereavement thing. I have this thing where like I know it's in my head, but if I've already taken time off, I like stress out about taking more time off because I feel like the managers are shit talking me, which I know for a fact doesn't happen, but it's like a thing in my brain that I'm like, I already took 3 days off and now I'm going to ask to leave work early. No, I can't do that. So that was
Julie,
the bereavement thing. Uh-huh.
do you know how hard people don't work?
I know. I know. I know. And I know it's a me thing. And I know it's a service industry thing, right? Because in the service industry, I mean, they really do make you feel guilty for taking time off. So I know that it's like all in my head. However, I still feel guilty about it. So I couldn't leave work. And as we famously know, I tried to get tickets to the Troubadour Hozier show and it didn't work out. And it just felt like the universe was dead set on keeping me away from Hozier, no matter the
Well,
situation.
right. Well, I told Julie that I was at work,
Right.
and um I wouldn't have been I couldn't leave not until like
Right.
5:30. Um and then Julie sent me another audio message, and then she asked me if I could go after work.
I
And
was not
I
going to give
said
up.
yes. I said yes, but I wanted her to clarify that the person picking up her pre-ordering the vinyl didn't have to be the person to go to the show, because I had to be out in the office the day of the show as well.
Mhm.
Um and then and then you told me what, Julie? What did you tell me?
Something insane that I actually can't even believe people are nice like this. But in the middle of me, Adrian's not the only one that got chaotic voice memos that day. I was reaching out to everybody. Are you close to Amoeba? Can you go and get me these Hozier tickets? Because if there's one thing about me, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get close to Hozier. Okay. And so in the middle of sending voice memos to everyone I knew, I got a text from the guy that I was talking to from Tinder. We hadn't met yet. We were planning on meeting on Friday. This was on a Monday. And he texted, how's your day going? And I also sent him a chaotic voice memo. And he was around for the whole troubadour thing. So he already knew that I was trying to get close to Hozier and it wasn't working out for me. And my voice memo was basically as chaotic as Adrian's, but like, the universe is trying to get in between me and Hozier yet again. And I told him what was going on. I was like, here's the thing. If you go into the store, blah, blah. Then he didn't reply for like an hour. And I was like, oh, I scared this man away with my like intensity. And then like an hour later, he texts me and he's like, if you haven't gone yet, I'm done for the day with meetings. I'm 20 minutes away. I can go for you. And I was like, what? And then he said, I just called and they said that they have like half of the tickets still left. And if I go right now, I'd probably still catch some. And I was like, you don't have to do at first I was like, you don't have to do that. I mean, I was very like taken aback. I was like, you don't have to do that. I can go. I was planning to go after I got off of work, after I logged off. I was like, and then maybe they'll have tickets still, and that'll be that. And he said, no, it's fine. I know how bad you want to meet Hozier, and like he's clearly very important to you, and you've been having a rough week, so I'm gonna go. And he went and got me 2 tickets to meet Hozier, this man that I had not met yet. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Mhm.
I don't even know. And at first, here's a little insight into my brain. When this was happening, though I was excited and kind of like taken aback by the gesture, I kept being like, this guy is going to pretend to go to Amoeba and then be like, oh, there was no tickets left.
What?
I literally was like, oh, this is a thing, right? Like he's gonna do this thing where he pretends to go and there's no tickets left, and then I'll be like, oh, it's fine, it was a kind gesture, and it's the gesture that counts. And then he sent me a picture of this little red envelope in my hand. Go onto YouTube if you're listening on a podcast app. And when he sent me this picture of the envelope, the red amoeba envelope, I said, oh, the fuck, he actually went and got me these Hozier tickets. And he got me 2 tickets. So Angie
Wow.
and I could meet Hozier on May 30th.
Did you Venmo him back?
Yes, of course I did. Of
Okay.
course I did. Yes.
How much?
Yeah.
How much was it?
It was
'Cause
88 for both,
for the vinyls.
for the vinyls.
Yeah. Did Angie Venmo you back?
She's gonna. We're trying to
She's going
decide. So
to.
we ended up getting two record store situations.
Mhm.
Because apparently he's doing this at a couple of record stores. But I think the
Mm.
second one that we got isn't a photo op. It's like maybe a mini performance. We don't really
Mm.
know. So she's trying to see if she can do both, if she's gonna do one, and then we'll decide what we'll do after that.
Hi Angie.
Hi, Angie.
How are you? How you doing? Angie, who just came back from Australia, right?
Yes, she
Was she in
did.
Australia?
She was.
Yeah, maybe one day she could go to work at Yumi and Chisme. I'm just kidding, Angie. I'm just
No,
kidding.
that's the truth. You should speak it. That's the truth. Yeah, speak it. That's funny.
Okay, so what a gesture.
What a gesture.
What a proclamation of, hey, I want to get to know you,
Yeah.
right? How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel in this moment?
I felt like it when it happened after he sent me the picture of the envelope, I was very much like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way. There's no, and then I sent you the text that he sent me where he was basically like, I knew you had a rough week, and if I could,
Mm-hmm.
bring a little bit of joy, it's fine. It was a
Mm-hmm.
good deed. I believe in good deeds. And it
Mm-hmm.
was just like zero expectation for payback. Just
Mm-hmm.
like, you wanted this thing. I thought it'd make you happy. So I got you this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I still don't know how to process. I'm used to, and I don't want you to look at me with pity when I say this, because I've said this already like 3 times to other people, and they always look at me like I'm the saddest human being in the world. But I'm used to like begging people for attention. Like, I'm used
Uh-huh.
to feeling like a burden to people. I'm used to like feeling like I'm taking so much from them by asking the bare minimum. And
Mm-hmm.
so instead of doing that, I just don't ask for things. I tend to like not ask for favors if you're not like a very close friend of mine, because I just like
Mm-hmm.
don't like feeling like people are doing something out of obligation for me. Not to say that they
Mm-hmm.
would be, but I just like don't like that feeling, and I'm used to that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, who I had not met yet, just texting and on the phone, chose to do this very, very sweet thing for me. And it kind of took me completely back. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was so wild, which is sad, right? Because it's like a 20-minute errand. It wasn't like but it like really meant a lot to me. And especially how he phrased the things that like what he did. I was like, oh, you really did this because I was bummed out and you wanted to just make me happy. That was like as easy as it was,
Right.
which is such a wild concept to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for me to receive, like, I'm used to doing that for other people where it's like, oh, this person's sad, this thing will make them happy. But like,
Mm-hmm.
that's just not something that I'm used to in my life. Friendships, romantic relationships, like not that doesn't happen for me. And so yeah, it was weird. It was weird, and it's still weird. And we did meet up on Friday.
Oh. Mm.
Yes, we had our first date. And even then, when he gave me the envelope, I was like, oh my God, it's in my hand. Like, this really happened. This really nice thing happened. I'm gonna have to suck his dick now. No, no, it
Oh
was just
my
like this.
God.
I did not, for the record, I
Uh-huh.
did not yet. I did
Uh-huh.
not yet. But it was just very, very, very weird.
How was the date?
The date was good. We went to the Academy Museum.
Mhm.
Here's the
Do you think
thing.
he listens to this?
God, I hope not. Though I did find out that our TikToks go on his For You page because because of the contact connection on his phone. Now my TikToks show up on his For You page. And I said
Mhm.
that could be dangerous for everyone
Mhm.
involved. So I
Mhm.
blocked him as soon as I got home so
What?
that he wouldn't see them anymore.
Wait, your personal TikTok page or the You
Yeah,
Me
my
Chisme?
personal one.
Oh, uh-huh.
My
Uh-huh.
personal one. And I go on there
Well,
and talk
there's no
about
way
dates.
there's no way for you to block him from listening to this podcast.
That's true. That is true. So I guess we'll see. No, I don't think he'll actually listen to this. But here's the thing about
Hi,
him. I hope
sir.
not, because I'm about to tell you things. So here's hoping he doesn't listen to it.
Okay.
Here's the thing about him. He did lie about his
Oh,
height. And it's fine. I
oh no.
don't
Wait,
mind.
wait, 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 wait. 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 I love you because there is a real possibility that this man could listen to the podcast and you're
I
about to
don't
put him
think
on
he's
blast.
gonna,
And
but
I
let me
love it.
finish the sentence.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
He's
it's
not as
fine.
tall as he said as he was.
which
Continue.
is which is fine for I was doing this thing. We all know I was doing this thing where I was not limiting myself to any sort of
Mm-hmm.
guidelines that I usually did. So the lying was like it felt unnecessary to me. And it was like he told me he was like 5'10". He was definitely like 5'7", which is fine. That it was fine. The thing that it was like that he lied, then you're clearly like not confident in the situation. And then that makes me like, I would love a confident human being, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, he seems to be a very confident person. We had great conversation. There was never any awkward moments. He did go in for a kiss fairly quickly. We
Oh.
were at the Academy Museum and they have all these rooms playing film clips. And we went into the sound room where they like were showing like this was like maybe 20 minutes into the date. They were showing like how they made the sound for an Indiana Jones scene. And he like went in for the kiss when I mean, the room was empty. It was just us two. And we were sitting down watching this thing. And he went in for it. And I mean, it was fine. It was a good kiss. So, and that's to say he's a very clearly a confident man to be like 20 minutes in, I'm going to go for it. And he did. And it was cool. And great conversation. It was really good conversation. We both love movies, so there was plenty to talk about. We talked about a bunch of stuff
No, he
though, growing up.
loves movies.
He does love movies. He
Loves
loves movies.
movies.
If you think I sit here and analyze movies, he's got nothing on me. Yeah, he's analyzing the fuck out of them. So yeah, that was that. What else happened? I mean, he was nice, good conversation. He is looking for something more casual than I am. But here's the thing.
There it is.
I'm not ruling it out, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because he's very honest, and if I can be very honest into the conversation and be like, great, let's do this casual thing, I'm still going to be looking for something a little bit more serious. In the meantime, we can continue this. I'll tell you why. I normally am not a casual human because my heart's right here on my sleeve. And so
on your wrist,
literally hanging constantly, showing it to the world. And so he seems to really want to get to know me as a human being. Like this may be just me and my perception, but when he was looking at me, I was like, oh my God, he's like obsessed with me. Like he just like the look in his eye, like he was really paying attention to every word that came out of my mouth, which was a little intimidating. But he really was like in there, connected to everything I was saying, even when it was nonsense. He was just like, I'm right here with you. And then a couple of times, I do the thing where I go on a little rant when I get a little passionate about something. And then like 3 times he was like, I love when you go on a rant. Like, I love when you just like, take off on a rant. And I was like, oh, really? I find it really annoying. I actually can't help it. And he's like, no, I think it's really cute. Like you get really passionate and then you're just like going on about whatever, it is we're talking about. So that was nice. He did tell me that I should do stand-up comedy. And I was like, that sounds like my worst nightmare, but thanks, I guess. So he thinks I'm hilarious. Always a plus. Always a plus.
Wait until he listens to this podcast.
Jesus. But it was good. It was a good date. I would say solid experience. And I got my Hozier tickets. Shit, even if it was a bad day, I would have been like, you know what? This was 10 out of 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do we know what his zodiac sign is?
His birthday just passed like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, then he might be a Taurus.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Sir. Mr. Omiba, sir. Come on the pod.
Yeah. Won't that be something?
Well, Julie, listen, I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why
not? I mean, the search does continue because
the search always continues. Always.
I do want to, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, I do want a relationship.
You do?
I do. And I know that because when he was telling me that he wanted something casual, I was like, oh. Which is, it was fine. It's fine. But I wasn't like, oh, devastated. But then it was like, oh, then I have to keep looking. Like I had that clear thought of, oh, then I have to keep looking. because
I'm
I
sure
do
if he was
want
5'10", you'd be like, oh damn. But because he was 5'7", you're like, I mean, okay.
That's not true. That's not true. Because his
There's
personality
a little
is
bit of
really
truth.
good. The
Mhm.
personality was
Yeah,
really good.
I
And
bet
I've
it
had
is.
dates with
Yeah.
tall men that I'm like, oh, you're really boring. But he
I've
was
never met
like,
a tall man that I didn't like.
interesting. Interesting. I've met tons of them. Yeah.
I'm
It's
just
like they
kidding.
don't
I'm
have
sure.
to try because they're tall. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's half the
listen.
battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, truly,
I agree.
truly. Okay. Well, listen. I'm so happy you're gonna go see Hozier. Hozier. Hoser. How do you
Some
say
may
it?
say it's Hozier, but
Uh-huh.
you say it
Hozier.
however you want to say it.
Okay.
His name is Andrew.
Um.
How about that?
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm so happy you're gonna go see Andrew. You should tell him
Okay.
that you have been to Ireland.
I will absolutely tell him
Is
that.
he Irish? He's
He
Irish,
is.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, let him know.
Yeah, that would
Make a
be great.
sign.
Hi, Hozier. I've been to Ireland. FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a
Look him
little.
look
Yeah.
him in the eye. Say,
Okay.
I just came back from Ireland. It's beautiful. And I think that maybe we should move there together.
Together. Okay.
Because if you don't manifest it for yourself, then who will?
You know what? That is a
And
great point.
and let me tell you something that Andrew doesn't do.
Okay.
Lie about his height.
That's a goddamn truth if I've ever heard one. That is a goddamn truth. Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Mr. Amoeba. I'm so sorry. It's just funny, so I'm gonna make a little
Yeah.
joke about it. But I'm sure we'll
It's
be great
fine.
friends. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's totally fine.
Totally.
I did not go on a date this week.
Oh.
Just waiting for my Prince Charming to come knock on the door.
Well, I saw a TikTok of this guy that was soliciting for something on this it was like a TikTok of a Ring camera, and he was soliciting a neighborhood for something, and he knocked on a door, and he flirted with the girl that answered, exchanged numbers. So they are coming and knocking on our doors. We just need to be home.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So
That's hard for
ladies,
me.
you got to stay
Yeah,
home.
right. Well, Julie,
Mm-hmm.
Julie, Julie,
That's me.
Julie. Um, wouldn't it be fun if we did a full episode of the Pop Culture Pop Up?
So fun. So fun. What a
It's
blast.
time for the Pop Culture Pop Up. Okay, I demanded one thing this week, and I demand that we talk about Vanderpump Rules.
Let's do it.
Julie, I want you, I know that you don't know, but I want you to ask all the questions. And I want you, there is no such thing as a stupid question. So ask all of the questions that you may
Okay.
have about this, because I have never been so passionate about something.
Okay.
Um, I do want to say that I watched the season finale last night.
Mm-hmm.
My friends Alex and Christian and Nick
Mm-hmm.
came over. We had a whole setup,
Okay.
um, and we watched the season finale of Vanderpump Rules. Let me tell you, I made a speech. This
I
was
love
like
that.
we were watching the Oscars. Um, I think that we have experienced a moment in television history
Mm.
that is most pleasing to me, that is most um I think it's historical. I think it's something that we've never seen. I think that it is going to be, at the end of the day, one of the biggest moments in reality TV history at the end of the day. And it might sound kind of like, okay, you're stupid, like this is a
No.
bit much. But we have been watching these people for 10 years.
Mm.
Sandoval and Ariana have been in a relationship for 9 years.
Jesus.
And this man cheated on her with her best friend after her dog and her grandmother died. And she defended him and her best friend on national television in front of her friends while they were both going behind her back and fucking in her home.
In her home.
In her home. The first time it happened, okay, so let me tell you, Raquel. Okay. Raquel came on Vanderpump Rules like 5 years ago or something. She was dating a different cast member. His name is James Kennedy. Ariana and Tom Sandoval were good friends with James Kennedy. They took in Raquel. Raquel became like a little sister to them. And Raquel stayed on the show and whatever. These two start fucking each other. And the first night that they fuck each other, this is all coming out in pieces, by the way. The first time that they fuck each other is outside of Tom and Ariana's house in Raquel's car. And this man didn't have keys to his house. So he had to ring the doorbell in the middle of the night so that Ariana could come downstairs and open the door for her while he just fucked her best friend in her car outside of her house. The night was March 1st, 2023. It was Tom has a little band. He's like a 40-year-old man who's going through midlife crisis. He has small stakes in some bars here in LA. And his band was performing at one of the bars in West Hollywood, Tom Tom. And when he was performing, his phone fell out of his pocket. Somebody gave his phone to his girlfriend, Ariana. Ariana says that she felt woman's intuition that she should look through his phone. She saw in his camera roll a screen recording of Tom and Raquel on FaceTime. What they won't see on the show is that they were likely having some type of phone cyber sex. And that is the that is the screen recording that she saw. She was at her boyfriend's pathetic band show when she saw this. Anyways, so Ariana and Tom go outside. Ariana calls Raquel and basically is like, what the fuck is this? That was March 1st. March 2nd, Ariana calls the producers of Vanderpump Rules because at this point they had already stopped filming the current season. The current season had just started airing. I think they were like 4 episodes in. And she tells them this is what happened. And they get cameras up and rolling. March 3rd, cameras are rolling. March 3rd is also the day that it goes out on TMZ and the rest of the world finds out. There was a scene where Ariana and Tom have the first conversation after all this has happened inside their home. I have never seen anything like it. You have to watch it, Julie, because
I've seen that.
It is masterful.
Yeah.
It is masterful in how she obliterates this man.
Yeah.
She is spot on with everything she has to say. And I could not imagine. I mean, I felt her pain for her. I could not imagine having the man that you have been in a relationship, a man that you have a business with, a man that you own a home with, a man that you have decided you're going to spend the rest of your life with. I can't imagine finding out that he has been having sex with one of your best friends.
Oh my God. Do men deserve rights?
Not just being betrayed by the man that you love, but being betrayed by the best friend that you had. I mean, Oof. And all he does is blame her. All he does is
Right.
yell at her. All he does is try to validate what he did by blaming what she didn't do.
Right.
It is I mean, it was a fantastic episode. They all deserve Emmys. They all deserve Emmys. I'll say it, and I'll say it loudly and proudly,
Right.
because that 54 minutes of television was so well done, so well
Mm-hmm.
edited, so well put together. Um, I know a lot of people talk about reality TV. It's not real. Blah 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 blah. Sure, maybe that these people are put into scenarios that they wouldn't normally be in. Um, but I 100% in the depth of my heart believe that what we saw on that episode of Vanderpump Rules was 100% genuine and authentic, because you become friends with people at work, right?
Right.
Like, how do you not build relationships with people that you're on this show with, that you spend 10 years with? Like, these
Yeah.
people are in each other's lives. There's I'm sure there's other shows where, casts don't really hang out. I think The Housewives is a good example of that. Like, a lot of those women don't hang out with each other during when filming isn't happening. On Vanderpump Rules, these people, like, they're at each other's homes all the time when they're not filming.
Right.
um and so, it just was, somebody's pain should not be celebrated.
Right.
But this was golden television.
Mm-hmm.
It was. It really, really was. Anyways,
Interesting. I've seen, so I know a little bit about it because it keeps popping up on my For You page on
it's
TikTok.
everywhere. Ariana was
Everyone
on the
is,
Today Show and The View the
yeah,
day
I saw
after this
that.
show aired.
Yeah, people are really invested in this storyline. It quick question, just to try to grasp what's happening here. I did see a clip where the guy that cheats, he's having a
Huh?
conversation with another woman, and she's asking him like, well, if you were unhappy, why didn't you end it? And he makes a claim that it was because Ariana, I think, threatened to kill herself. What's the truth in that situation?
Okay, yes. So you're talking about how, so the episode ended with Tom Sandoval having a conversation with Sheena. Sheena is also like best friends with Raquel, who Tom cheated with. And so she was just as hurt because she took in Raquel. Raquel was living in her home that she
Mm,
was paying for. Like, these people, like, their lives are integrated in such a way,
right.
like they really are. And so Sheena had spent a lot of the season defending Raquel, and also, and like, one of her best friends ever is also Ariana, and she's very close to Tom. And she tells a story about how when they first started the show, Sheena didn't really know anybody, but Tom Sandoval was there to like welcome her into the group and like be all the things.
Mhm.
By the way, the show kind of was built off the premises of Sheena, because Sheena, this is 10 years ago, by the way. Sheena got caught, or she had some kind of affair with Eddie Cibrian, who was a soap star back in the day.
Mhm.
And he was married to Brandy Glanville. So, and Brandy Glanville at the time was a was a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And that basically, Vanderpump Rules is a spinoff of Beverly Hills. Anyways, yes, Sheena was devastated and distraught, because also the night that March 1st was also the night that Sheena and Raquel were on Andy Cohen's talk show Watch What Happens Live. And Sheena found out that night,
Mhm.
after they had finished filming, that they were having the affair. And Sheena shoved Raquel so hard, because she was so angry. And and like, Sheena, you could tell she just felt it so much, how betrayed she felt. Anyways, yes, Tom was saying, um I tried to break up with Ariana, but basically was saying, she said that she was going to hurt herself or do something to herself. And he says that because it is Ariana has talked very candidly about her mental health problems in the past. Um, and if whether that is true or not, I think the consensus is that he's using that as a scapegoat to justify why he hadn't broken up with her.
Right.
Because because what Sheena told her is like, well, you don't go fuck her best friend.
Right. To help her mental health. It's fucking wild.
Right. You call her mom, you call her best friends, you call us and you say, I can't be in this relationship anymore. I'm leaving. Come check in on her, come be with her because I can't do this right now. You don't go fuck her best friend.
Right.
He also said, she has trust issues and blah, blah, blah. And I think it was Lisa Vanderpump who was like, well, what do you think she's not gonna be able to trust anybody anymore either.
Right.
You didn't do anything to help her through this situation.
Yeah.
If you're not in love with her anymore, then say it. Be a grown ass man and say it.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, the man is disgusting.
Yeah.
He is disgusting. Could you ever deal with your best friend cheating or having an affair with the person you were in love with?
No.
How devastating would that be?
I mean, how do you even come back from that? How do you even come back to trust? Now you can't trust friends. You can't trust friends. You can't trust a partner. Who can you trust? You can't trust anybody. No. That is beyond painful. I can't even wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It is so, I mean, it's not crazy to me in the sense that these people are narcissists, horrible, I don't want to say unemotional because I believe that they have emotions, but they just don't care.
Right.
They don't care. This was at least a 7-month affair.
Oh my God.
At least.
I feel like that, I mean, it just gets worse because if it's like, oh, they fucked around one night, it's like, okay, maybe you can excuse this as a mistake, as a lapse of judgment, but a continuous relationship over the course of months. Yeah, I don't know how you as the victim in it just to find a way to justify any of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, next week we get the reunion. It's gonna be a 3-part reunion.
Yeah.
And they will come face to face. And Ariana and Raquel will come face to face. And I mean, it's it is such a moment in pop culture and such a moment in the times. And it's like, this is what is interesting about Bravo is that Bravo has been able to, somebody called it heritage TV, where you're able to tell these stories with so much context because they've been on TV for so long. You're able to go back and show footage from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
To really paint a picture. And to me, it's so smart because I mean, you could only do this. You could only used to be able to do this on the soaps.
Yeah.
These are soap operas. And they're fun and they're they're frivolous at times, but also like watching for so many years, it pays off not to watch somebody in pain, but to have this kind of story that you'd only be able to watch when it's a show that has been on for so long, like the soap operas or like a Grey's Anatomy or something like that. And even then people leave and they're not on the show all the time. And so
Right.
it is a moment. A
Wild.
moment for those of us who love reality TV, for those of us who love pop culture, for those of us who watch these shows, because you don't watch to want to watch somebody in pain, but this is something major that happened in one of these characters' lives, and for them also to like put it on TV so that we could all watch is sick, but also
right.
fulfilling in a way.
I mean, look,
Because
whatever gets you through.
you get vested in these people. You get vested in these people and in these stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Ariana, come on the pod.
Come on the pod.
Come on the
Ariana,
pod.
let's discuss.
Sheena, come on the pod. I would love to have Sheena Shea on the pod.
Wow.
I also would love to have Lala or James Kennedy on the pod. Hell, I will take Raquel and Tom. Let's grill them.
Yeah, Tom and Raquel, come on the pod, please.
Come on the pod. Anyways, Julie, maybe you should watch just the final episode.
Maybe I saw a couple of clips on TikTok and I sat through them because everyone's been talking about it. So I was like, what is the deal with this situation? So I sat through a couple of the clips and I saw the trailer for the reunion. So when that was posted, I also checked that out. I mean, this is my problem with reality TV, that I see both sides of it, right? I see the overproduced scenarios that are definitely for television, a little bit scripted. Like I see that part of it that turns me off, but the other part of it that turns me off, I'm like, these are adults in situations that are so embarrassing that we all know happen, right? We like messy shit happens all the time, but now you're willingly putting that information into the universe so everyone can overanalyze and make a judgment. And I don't love that part of it, where it's like it feels like nastier to like submit yourself to that kind of situation. And it's sad. Like it makes me sad to think Ariana had this realization going through the phone, and one of her first thoughts was, I'm gonna call the producers and get some cameras rolling. You know what I mean? Like that one brilliant, smart business decision was made. Also, though, sad. Also sad.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but then also I think also something to be said about the fact that she's like, no, I want people to know what type of people these two people are. I want everyone to see.
Yeah.
I want everyone to see the type of pain that they are causing me, because they are horrible, disgusting people. So I get that. I will say something to the fact of why these people do this. I think that a lot of these people, and we'll speak specifically about Vanderpump Rules. I think a lot of these people came to LA to try to make it in acting, in comedy, in music, whatever it may be. And they're presented this opportunity to be on a reality TV show. And then the reality and the chances of that show really taking off and like becoming successful, tiny. And then it does. And then basically, I think what a lot of them feel like is that this ends up becoming their livelihood.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to become movie stars. They weren't going to get a record deal. This is the card that has been dealt to them. And they have families to feed, they have lives to live, they have things to do. They can't go back and get an office job. I'm sure they could, but like, and so I think at a certain point you start to be like, well, this is my job.
Yeah.
And I need to make sure that I continue to have a job. Um, and yeah, you know,
That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Messy.
But it is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. But you know, you got to appreciate the hustle, you know?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
and it's true. I mean, some people, with all due respect, some of these people don't have the talent to make it as anything else. So you got to work with what you
Right.
got. So if that's
Absolutely.
how you're going to become successful and you somehow finessed your way into becoming a household name, I say good for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Next up on the pop culture pop up, Billie Eilish broke up with her boyfriend. I
Mm.
don't remember his name, but
Jesse
he was the lead
Rutherford.
singer of the Neighborhood, Jesse Rutherford. Julie,
Old
tell us
ass.
what your thoughts are.
Finally, we've been waiting. Finally. Yeah, he's like 70. No, I'm kidding. He's like he's like 30 something. Um, yeah, yeah, good. Good. And I hope Billie takes some time for herself, if we're being quite honest, and just like reflects on the decisions she's been making. Sometimes you need to take a step back to realize what the fuck am I thinking with these nasty men when I'm,
Mhm.
20, living my best
Mhm.
life, and now I'm attached to this
Mhm.
30 something decrepit man. Oh my God, Billie. I want you to see the light, Billie. Not because like I don't love having to talk about Billie Eilish's love life. Okay. I would love to talk about her music. Can we talk about that? Um, it just is nasty behavior. Like the man part. No, Billie is not doing nasty behavior. She's a young girl. She's trying her best. The man in the Neighborhood is not making that good of a music for you to be inspired by him, Billie. I can't name one. What's the Neighborhood? I can't name one song. The sweater song. Maybe that's
Sweater,
it.
other than sweater
That's the
weather,
only
yeah.
one. That's the only one.
Right.
Oh, she's free
Right.
though.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect, Billy, but it's like, okay. Well, you know, uh,
Yeah,
was it going to last?
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
beautifully put. That's exactly how we
yeah,
all felt.
yeah. But I hope that this gives us great music. Selfishly, I'm sorry, but
I mean,
I want some really sad, depressing music.
yeah,
So
same.
come on over, Billy.
Or some fuck this guy music. Give us some fuck this guy
Oh
music.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
How about
exactly.
that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. Okay, Billy, come on the pod. We could chat
Come on the
about
pod,
whatever.
Billy. Yeah.
Next up on the pop culture pop up, Brie Larson is promoting a new movie. No, not the next Fast and Furious movie. Although she is in that. I did have a friend ask me why is she in that, and I thought the only appropriate person to ask was you, Julie. So can we start with that?
Yeah, the answer to that is we don't fucking know what Brie Larson's doing. Okay? Here's what I actually think is happening. It's very a la Jakey Jakes, I think. It's that she did all of these Academy award movies and worthy movies, that's the word I was looking for. And I think she after she won the Academy Award, it just they weren't hitting like she wanted them to. And so she said, I'm gonna have some fun then.
Well, which I think happens to a lot of actresses after they win
Yes.
an Academy Award.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like there's open conversations about the Oscar curse.
Right. Right. Which is sad. And she's a very talented dramatic actress, but yeah, she did Captain Marvel. She's doing this Fast and Furious movie. I don't know why. But you know what? Look, you have fun, girl. You have fun. That's all I can say.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Do you know what the movie is that she's promoting at Cannes is?
So she's actually a juror at the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, she's not even promoting a movie at Cannes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
gosh, I'm
she's a
so
juror.
sorry.
It's okay, but she was asked, well, she specifically was at, they were all doing a press conference, and she specifically was asked how she felt about Johnny Depp's new movie opening the Cannes Film Festival. And a man asked this question, and she said, "You're asking me that? I'm sorry, I don't understand the correlation or why me specifically." And then he says, "Well, you've been very outspoken about the Me Too movement and the Time's Up initiative. So I was thinking, like, what are you planning to see this movie? Do you have any thoughts on this?" And she said, "I don't know if I'll see the movie, and I don't know what I'll think about the movie if I do see the movie, because I haven't seen it yet. So I guess if I do see the movie, you'll know my thoughts then," is basically what she said. I'm paraphrasing. My thoughts on
Pretty
this.
actually accurate, I think,
I know I
of
watched the
what you
video like
said.
7 times.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, she
But
really got this down.
yeah. My thoughts on it is I wish the question would have been asked to the entire juror selection. And I understand why Brie Larson didn't answer it, but I wish she would have. I understand that she didn't
Right.
because she is so under a microscope when she says anything in regards to the Me Too movement, and people
Right.
rip her to fucking shreds for any semblance of an opinion. There was no way
Right.
any answer would have been correct. If she
Right.
approved of the Johnny Depp movie, they would have ripped her to shreds. If she spoke out against it, they would have ripped her to shreds. It was just not going to be a good situation. I understand why she didn't answer it. Selfishly, I wish she would have. I do think that that's what needs to happen in order for these, my opinion, for these abusive men. Maybe you think Johnny Depp is not abusive. That's your opinion. That's what opinions are. Okay. My opinion is that he is. So, in order for these men to not have movies opening, and the thing that gets me is, I don't want to talk too much about Johnny Depp, but he also did a press conference for his film, and he talks about being blacklisted by Hollywood, and he talks about how Hollywood has shunned him, and he talks about how Hollywood has treated him while premiering a movie at the film festival in Cannes, which is one of the most prestigious film festivals, and you're premiering a film that
Right.
you're starring in, and you've been
Right.
shunned by Hollywood, and you've been blacklisted by Hollywood. Get your rotted teeth out of here. Shut the fuck up. It's insane.
Right.
It's insane. But in terms of Brie, I understand why she didn't say anything. I selfishly do wish she would have. And I actually think I don't I don't necessarily think the journalist was trying to like trick her into an answer. I do think he was very deliberate in asking her the question, but I think he
Right.
had good reason. When she said, "Why are you asking me?" He said, "You've been outspoken about the Me Too movement and the Time's Up initiative. So I feel like you would bring a good insight into this conversation." That is a good reason to ask this particular person a question. However,
Right.
the way that the world is set up and the way that criticism goes around Brie Larson, there was just no winning for her in this situation.
Right. Right. I think that I think the first question should probably go to the people who select the films to be featured at Cannes
Yeah.
in the film festival itself.
Yeah.
Why are they showing this film? I'd be curious to know if jurors get selected, before the films are selected or after. I don't know how any of that works. Um, I feel for her in the sense that I think it's an impossible position to be put in.
Absolutely.
Just like you said, Julie. And so it is, I mean, what can you do? You
Mhm.
know? Um, I think also if she had whatever she would have said other than a very neutral answer would have taken away from all of the other films at the film festival and all of
Mhm.
the other work that is happening there, which I'm sure is great, wonderful work.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's
Yeah.
very tough. Um, and I don't know. Ugh,
Mhm.
I can't be famous. Don't ever ask me anything.
If we ever get famous, we are doing 0 interviews because y'all know, you'll never know what I can say. It'll be bad.
I'm not gonna let you in front of a microphone.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. It's impossible
Yeah.
for her to say anything without it being completely. I mean, what she said was already overanalyzed
Yeah.
and criticized. So, yes, Brie, come on the pod. Would
Come
love
on
to
the
have
pod.
you. Next up in the pop culture pop up, a little bit of sports news, shall we? Do we talk about
Okay.
sports here? Not
We
actual
love we
sports,
love a
but
sport.
adjacent. Yeah. The LA Dodgers host a Pride Night at one of their games every year,
Mhm.
and they were going to honor a particular community group. The group is called um, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, which is a charity organization that features the LA Drag Nuns, which I think is fun.
Mhm.
Um, the Dodgers were going to give them a community award. I think it's like the Heroes or something of something.
Mhm.
Apparently, there was some type of Catholic man who made a big stink about this, about how this was so, a man that doesn't even live in LA, by the way, from my understanding, that was so upset about the LA drag nuns. And the Dodgers cowardly said, oh, there's been some controversy and we're not here to ruffle any feathers. So we're going to resend our invitation to receive an award to the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. And basically have given in to this troll. And
Mhm.
now, I mean, which is so confusing to me because who is this man? And who are like it's it's as if, and this is what bothers me about Twitter, it's like people make a stink about one or two people having one or two tweets,
Mhm.
and now all of a sudden it's, oh, the entire millions and millions of people feel this certain type of way.
Yeah.
No, who is this man and who cares?
Who
I mean,
cares?
it is so um whoever made this decision at the Dodgers, it is a spineless
Yeah.
little punk
Yeah.
who does not have a backbone, who is a scared little cat, and uh is like is there's so many words that I could use, but I don't want to get too vulgar, but it is just like they're pathetic is what they are.
Yeah.
I love the word pathetic.
They are pathetic.
It's
It completely is. And it's sad, and it just should serve as a reminder that corporate America is only inclusive when it benefits them, and only if it benefits them. They are not inclusive for any other reason than for their benefit. And the minute that they thought that the possibility of them losing money was even a thought in someone else's brain, they nixed the inclusivity that would have brought so much joy to so many people. Like, it's so insane. Just a solid reminder when you see anything corporate America is doing that has to do with pride. It's only because it benefits their pockets. That's the only reason why
right.
they do stuff like this. And they've proven that time and time and time and time again. And it's insane and infuriating.
Right. Right. I mean, it's just it's silly really
Mhm.
because um because what actually would have happened is nobody would have really paid attention to this man.
No.
And even if there were a couple more people who had something to say, no one would have paid attention.
Mm-mm.
The Dodgers could have celebrated Pride, given these organizations their award, and nobody would have known anything. It's so stupid to me.
It's
Who
so
runs the
stupid.
Dodgers? Who? And let's talk about why we have sports, because what is the point?
What is the point?
What is the point?
Oh my God, our three sports fans that overlap with our podcast listeners are gonna turn us off immediately. I'm sorry. I'm sure yay sports, but like insane for these organizations to be like, oh yeah, we're so inclusive. Yeah, we love all people. And then the moment one little fucking loser is like, oh, this is a word. Oh, I cannot stand it. And it's infuriating because it's like just a reminder that like we're not people to them. We're literal dollar signs. And I would love to forget about that. I already know it, but I'd love to not constantly think that I'm just a dollar sign to these companies.
And when did the Catholic Church become the moral compass? Because
Let's get into
last I
it.
checked,
Let's get into it.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Catholic Church is just as pathetic.
Yeah.
Um, ugh. Anyways, there are real issues happening in the world, like Ariana Madix getting cheated on. Okay, let's
Yeah,
focus on those things.
absolutely.
Anyways, next up on the pop culture pop up, Julie, big week in new music, huh? Tell us, tell us what your thoughts are.
Big week in new music. Kelly Clarkson dropped her new single, Favorite Kind of High, though I wish she would have kept it. I'm good with the two singles and just let us wait for the album. But fine. She gave us a new single, Favorite Kind of High. It's one of the more poppy songs in her album. Dee was not a huge fan. Dee and I have already discussed
You
the
and D talk
song.
on the side.
Don't worry about me and Dee. How about
Oh,
that?
okay.
How about that? No, just kidding.
Okay.
We do. We talk about Kelly Clarkson. And
Uh-huh.
so a lot more poppy, but I told Dee, and I'll tell you guys, don't let these three songs be any indication of what the album sounds like because it's eclectic. You're gonna
Oh,
be
D didn't like
surprised.
it.
She's not a huge pop girly. She likes
Hmm.
the
What?
the huge, but she's not huge on the pop. She's hoping for more R&B soul sound coming from Kelly, which I said,
Oh.
hold, wait for it. It's coming. Give
Uh-huh.
it a minute.
Hmm.
June 23rd. It's gonna be in your ears.
Hmm.
So very excited for the rest of the album. Hozier, love of my life, Andrew. He also dropped a new song, Francesca. I actually have yet to hear that. Who is she? I know. It was a busy Friday. Louis Capaldi dropped his entire album called, I love the title of Louis Capaldi's albums, Broken by Desire to be Heavenly Sent. I
Mm.
mean, a man of words. Here's a thing about Louis Capaldi, though. It's very much the same thing over and
Hmm.
over again. But it's not necessarily a bad thing because his bread and butter is his lyrics, and the lyrics aren't the
Hmm.
same. So if you're really focusing on the words in his songs, it doesn't feel like you're listening to the same thing over and over again. But if you let your mind wander, if you have it in the background, sometimes it could possibly maybe feel like you're listening to one song the entire time, which is a little sad, but
Hmm.
I mean, that voice. I
Hmm.
already have two favorites. Give me a moment. I'm gonna remember the titles. Give me one moment. The first one is, I'm pretty sure, Any Kind of Life. The other one is Leave Me Slowly. Leave Me Slowly reminds me of oh, that Adele song that Bruno Mars wrote. If I ask, is that what it's called?
All I ask.
All I Ask. There you
Uh-huh.
are. All I ask. It's that same sentiment of like, okay, I know you're
Hmm.
going to leave me, but can you like take your time with that? Can we like hug a little tighter and like lay here for a little bit before you leave me? It's
How about you
dep-
get out the door and don't let it hit you on the way out? What? If
okay.
you're gonna leave, then leave. if
Okay,
you're
not
not gonna leave, then let's get to
yeah.
let's, you know, what
Sure.
is
Sure. Sure.
mm,
Not everyone feels like that.
got
Some
it.
people want the lingering, and it's painful when people leave.
I
Uh,
see.
yeah, great week for music. And you actually don't have to say it. I can confirm here now. Adrian has heard none of these songs except for
Untrue.
Favorite Kind of High, and that's only because he went to the concert.
Right.
Yeah, not because he actually went to go look for the song.
Are you gonna fuck my best friend too? Huh?
I think Jaime is gonna be okay. I'm not gonna do that to Jaime. Okay, I wouldn't dare traumatize him like that.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank
Finally, on
you.
the pop culture pop up, Harry and Meghan said that they
Mm,
were involved in a near catastrophic car chase for 2 hours in New York City.
mhm.
Um, sounds scary,
And
considering,
familiar. Yeah.
right? Um, but then people started saying, high speed car chase in New York City?
Hmm.
Mm, how do you do that? So there have been some doubts. Julie, thoughts?
So not to give them any credibility, but I fear I'm gonna. TMZ has confirmed that this happened. I saw
Mm-hmm.
a clip from Harvey and that other one where they were discussing the situation. They mentioned the part of Manhattan that this happened in, and apparently it's like this could have happened. A 2 hour car chase could have happened in this area of the city. And they confirmed, and I feel the only reason why I'm going to give them credibility is because I feel like TMZ is messy enough. They would have jumped at the chance to say this did
Mm-hmm.
not actually happen, and this is a proof that it didn't. So that they're
Mm-hmm.
coming out in front of it and being like, no, we confirmed per our sources that this is actually a thing that happened. Kind of insane that people would their first thought would be like, there's no way that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing the paparazzi, knowing people's obsession with these two, I mean, I didn't think twice about it, about the fact that it could have happened. Um, Very sad. And if you've heard any of Harry's Prince Harry, I call him Harry, he's the homie. Prince Harry's interviews, you know that this is a fear that he's had, that something like this would happen. Again, it's a reason why he took himself and his child and Meghan out of the UK, is because he felt like something like this could happen. It's a shame that that fear has been semi-realized for him. I can't imagine that it's going to be easy to go outside after that, because it's already something that is so traumatizing for him. So I mean, it sucks. They are just two beautiful people. Leave them be.
Yeah, I mean, my initial thought
Hmm.
was like, oh, here goes Charles. Just saying.
I mean,
Just saying.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any chase, any time that the
Mm,
paparazzi is remotely aggressive, I think is scary.
yeah.
So, I mean, who
Yeah.
cares? We don't need to see them in the car.
We really don't. I really don't need to see them in the car. I don't. I could care less.
What are they going to be doing in the car that is so
Which is
interesting?
also why I also had that thought of like, there they go, because it's like, what else were we trying, what was the hot ticket item that you were trying to get a picture of? Like,
I mean, I
what was the
guess
reason?
right. I mean, I guess them getting out of the car, but like, it just is like what these people are not that interesting, by the way.
Baby, they're just a boring married couple living their quiet ass life.
Paparazzi, come on the pod. I have a lot of questions for
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Right.
That's gonna do for the pop culture pop up. We'll be back next week with more pop culture. Jeez, man. Julie, do you have a Latinx spotlight for us?
I do. And I've talked about this man before, but hear me out. This is how it connects for me this week. There was a TikTok that went viral earlier this week. This woman was on a plane. She took a video of the person next to her, sitting next to her, and she wrote on the video, "Can someone tell me who this man is? Because people keep taking pictures with him, and I'm too scared to ask him who he is." Did you see this TikTok?
No.
Oh, it was Eugenio Derbez, and he stitched it and was like,
Uh-huh.
"Let me tell you something about me," and like brought up all his movies, Overboard, How to Be a Latin Lover, Valet, like talked about all his movies. And it just feels like Eugenio Derbez by this point is like American history. Okay, we
Mhm.
understand that he's a Mexican actor that started in Mexican cinema and Mexican television, but he has surpassed anything that people thought would be possible for a Mexican actor. Like
Mhm.
he is clearly, very clearly, jumped into American cinema in a very wonderful way. And I think he should be celebrated for that. So one, how dare this woman? Also, two, though, I think it's very funny for you to post a TikTok, but be like, I refuse to ask him to his face who this man is. So
Right.
hopefully someone will tell me who he is.
Right.
But yeah, I just feel like everyone should know about him. Everyone needs to learn about him. He's a great comedian, and he's been known to be a great dramatic actor in the American stuff that he's doing as well. And he's done like Valet, How to Be a Latin Lover, Overboard. He was opposite Anna Faris on Overboard. Like his
Mm.
comedies they're hefty with talent. They just don't get
Right.
talked about enough, I feel like. So
Right.
do yourself a favor. And this week, you go out and find Eugenio Derbez movie in one of your streaming services. And I think Hulu has like a couple of them, FYI.
I love it.
Hmm.
Love it. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Time for some azúcar. I will go first. My azúcar this week is that um I went to a little concert with Christian.
Oh,
Christian
oh,
won
I
tickets to go
guess
see.
my invite got lost in the mail.
Yeah, no, you weren't invited.
Oh, great. Okay,
Uh
well, thanks for confirming. What was the show?
we went to go see First Aid Kit. Have you heard of them?
I Christian, I love First Aid Kit.
Christian won tickets to go see First Aid Kit on KCRW.
Oh,
Um,
fun.
and so we went. But let me tell you the story about Tender Greens. There's a
Okay.
Tender Greens across the street from the Hollywood Palladium.
Okay.
Um, we showed up to Tender Greens maybe around 8:25 ish. We put
Okay.
it in order at like 8:30 ish. At 9 o'clock, the
Mhm.
food still had not come out. And they had already told us that they didn't have shrimp, they didn't have steak, blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
It was a busy day. I ordered salmon. Christian ordered a tuna salad. And I go up there at 9 o'clock and I was like, it's been like 30 minutes and we haven't gotten our food. And I asked this girl, and I don't know, she's timid. Maybe she hasn't worked there too long. She doesn't really know. And then she comes back and she's like, they're working on it. But I didn't feel confident in her answer. So then I asked the man who took our order. And then he's like, yeah, they're working on it. And so then I go back to my seat. I see that the girl who's making the food comes and talks to the guy who took our order. He looks at me, so I know that it must be about our
Mm.
order. I go back up to the counter and he's like, "We don't have any more tuna." And I said, "Give me my goddamn money back." Just close the doors if you have no more food. Okay. Anyways,
And it took
we
them
left.
over 30 minutes to find out.
And there were a lot of people working there, by the way. Anyways, don't go to the Tender Greens on Sunset and Vine. It's just
Nasty.
not. No.
Nasty behavior.
Um. Anyway, so then we walked over to the Palladium, and the show was great. It was really
You
nice. It
didn't
was
eat?
no, no. We had to wait until after the show to eat because the show had already started. The show started at 9.
Oh, bitch. You're sending me to a concert with no food? Oh, bitch. I would have burned that place to the ground. With us standing inside, I would have been that pissed. Are you kidding me? No, 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 no. I would have, demanded free food. Give me whatever you got back there immediately. No charge.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
You're
so
stronger than I am.
so then we went to go watch the show, and the show was wonderful.
Also, though, I do have to say, ordering food at 8:30 for a show that's at 9:00, chaotic behavior. I would have been inside already.
I had to go to the gym,
Okay.
and the gym was from 6 to 7, and then
Yeah.
by the time I actually got home, and I took a shower.
I can't do
and
that. I'm stressed out just thinking about it. What do you mean I'm not
we
inside at
our
8:30?
thought process. I mean, it would have taken me 10 minutes to eat. By the way, so we could have made
Sure.
it. We could have made it right by 9. It was literally right across the street. And like we were standing in the back. We weren't trying to get all the way up in the front.
Okay.
Also, you know, they were free tickets, by the way. We didn't pay for them.
Right.
The show was great. Hanging out with Christian was wonderful. We saw Trixie
Love that.
Mattel in the back,
I
out
love
of drag,
Trixie.
with her boyfriend. And it was really lovely. So I just want to say thank you, Christian, for having me, for inviting me. I also just want to say one more thing. Happy birthday to my friend Alex. His birthday is on May 22nd. And so happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Alex. Oh my
Yes.
God, how fun.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, my azúcar this week is Queen Charlotte on Netflix. Babes, I don't think I've ever felt love and pain quite like that ever in my life. I watched the entire series in one sitting. And no, it wasn't in one sitting. It was like in the span of 3 days, which is still kind of insane because it was 1 hour, 6 episodes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Why, Shonda? Why? This story, oh, the chemistry's back, baby. The chemistry between the two main actors is phenomenal. Their love story is beautiful, but it's guys, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's also painful. And there's this while you're watching this love story, if look, I can't be spoiling anything because everyone's watched Bridgerton, so shut up, I'm going to talk about it. So you're watching this love story unfold while knowing the reality of like present day, quote unquote, which is that the king is very clearly not okay in the reality of Bridgerton. Like you don't see him, he doesn't live with Queen Charlotte. Like there's something going on with the king and you know he's not okay. So you're watching this love story unfold while knowing the entire time that something's going on with the king that's gonna make him be not okay. And it's heartbreaking. And yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. Yes, I did. But it was wonderful television. So 10 out of 10 would recommend to a friend. Would have loved a little bit spicier when it came to the sex scenes. But you know what? It's fine. I'll take what I can get. And it was a really good show. I honestly kind of hope they don't get a second season because I don't actually want to see the downfall of the king. I don't want that to get sadder. I just want that's it. This part of the story, and we know somehow something happened and he's not okay, and that's okay with me. And that's okay with me. Yeah.
You heard it here first, Hollywood. Don't make another second season.
Don't make a second season. Yeah.
Thank you. This is part of the Bridgerton universe?
It is, yeah.
Oh wow. I had no idea.
It's an extension of it. Did you watch Bridgerton?
Only the first season.
You know the queen that picks the diamond?
Yes.
I mean, that's literally the entire premise of the show. The queen picks the diamond of the season. Well, that queen, it's her origin story.
Oh,
The
I
black
see.
woman with the big wig.
Yeah.
It's her, like how she became the queen.
Oh, fascinating. People love Bridgerton.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah. Okay. Queen Charlotte.
On Netflix. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Well, that is going to do it for us. Thank you very much for joining us for yet another week. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at You, Me, and Chisme. Make sure you go to youmeandchisme.com. Look at Julie's wonderful reviews, sign up for the newsletter, make sure that you rate, subscribe, review, do all the fun things you could do with this podcast on the internet. If you could leave us a quick little review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, that would be incredibly kind, and we would be so ever so grateful. And yeah, make sure that you let somebody know about this podcast, so that we can continue to pay for the lights in our homes.
Right.
Because if not, they'll turn them off. Anyways, we'll be back next week with more Chisme. But until then, make sure you have lots of love, lots of peace, and most importantly, lots of Chisme in your life. Bye.